We have a ton of exciting, cool things that are happening at the RTR. It's full of schedules, it's full of like events and things like that. So let's go through, see which ones are awesome, see which ones I saw last time, and the ones that you don't want to miss coming up. Alright, so I've got the schedule in front of me here, and you can't see it, I'm holding it, it's invisible. So we're just going to go through, I'll tell you the ones that I went to last year, and the ones that I would check out this year, ones that sound interesting, and anything that else comes to mind. So I'll pull up the pictures and stuff like that, and I'll pop it here, and then maybe it'll go bigger, and when I zoom in on stuff, I don't know. We'll see how I edit it. So this is a little bit different. The RTR is, the women's RTR is coming up first, which last year I think it was at the end, but this year it's at the thing. I'm not a woman, so that doesn't really pertain to me. I don't have any videos of that. You're on your own for that, sorry. All right, so the first day of RTR, it's Wednesday the 9th. Now, you can start getting there on the 8th, so that's not on the schedule, but that's what I'm going to tell you. That's the super secret Copac schedule, is getting there a little bit earlier and parking in the old RTR spot. Anyway, Wednesdays, when we first get there, 10 a.m. orientation. Now, I arrived late last year, and I didn't get to go to orientation. I don't know what it is. I'm going to try and make it to this one just to see what it was, because I missed it last year. I don't have anything else on that. It's probably an important thing that you want to go through. 2 p.m. that Wednesday. Be a nomad. Change your life. Meet and greet with Robin and following seminar. I don't know what that means. But if you know who Robin is and you want to meet and greet them, that's going to be your time. That's going to be a fun thing to do if you know who Robin is. I don't know who that is. But we've got Be a Nomad and Change Your Life. So that's basically the name of their, I think, Robin's seminar that's going to do. So that's going to be a good feeling thing about what to do and get on your own and things like that. Probably if you're at the RTR, you're already doing that. So this will just be affirming your decisions. But that's good. We all want people to tell us that we're right. So that sounds fun. Maybe I'll go to that. I'll probably try and go to a lot of these if I can. Next day at 10 a.m., that's when most of them start. We've got residence mail and driver's license. So this is a question that gets asked all the time. How do you get mail on the road? How do you get a driver's license on the road? How do you do a P.O. box and things like that? This is what this class is. If you have questions about that, definitely go to there. People ask me all the time. And for me, I use a family member's residence as my home thing and things. If you have a state residence with your family, or if you want to make a P.O. box somewhere for all your stuff, it might be best to figure out which taxes are great. Like, I don't pay specific taxes in Florida, so I'm glad that I can have it set up there. And car insurance is cheaper and different things like that. So you can shop around. You can see what state's the best. That's just my intro primer for that class. That same Thursday at 2 p.m., there's the internet class. I didn't get to go to this time last year either, but it should be pretty cool. In fact, Hobotech just did an awesome video on how to get like 2 different SIM cards and a Wi-Fi hotspot. And I'll probably go to this too and see if they have any recommendations. I'm pretty familiar with the different types of internet and things like that. But if you're looking for primer information and more stuff like that, this should be a good class. 4 p.m. budget, living on a dime. And this is a panel discussion. So all the panels last year normally had a little brief presentation and then it opened up to Q&A. So this should be pretty good. I think I already live kind of on a budget. I mean, live in a van, all that type of stuff. I don't spend a lot of money. Probably eventually I'll do a video talking about my living expenses and income and all that type of stuff. But this should be good if you're still curious about how to make the van life work on a budget. I'm sure it'll be some like coupon cutting, cost saving type deals. That could be interesting. The next day at 10 a.m., the work camping seminar. If you're looking for like a forester job or forest park job, something like that, check out the work camping. If you're more interested in a traditional type job while you're still in a van, check that out. That last year, that was pretty cool. 2 p.m., the women's meeting. I don't know what they're meeting this year since they already just had a full women's RTR. But if you're a woman and want to meet with other van women, that's your cue. 4 p.m., the healing power of minimalization. I like being a minimalist. In fact, my very first video was getting rid of all my stuff, embracing minimalism. You know, now that I'm like 2-3 years after that, I need to downsize again. I've like collected more stuff, and even the stuff that I minimized to go in the van, I find that I don't even use it all. So I think it's time for another wave of that. And I had another video about minimalism and things like that. So check that out too. I like that. That should be an interesting class. I don't know about the healing power stuff. That's maybe a little bit woo-woo for me, but I do believe in you know, the healing power of your own mind. So that could be interesting. We'll see what that's about. Maybe it'll give me ideas for another video. That Saturday, we've got 10 a.m. This is the solar seminar. If you're interested in solar power stuff, well, one, you should be checking out my playlist. That's what you should be doing first. But number two, you should be going to this seminar. There's some pretty interesting stuff. And last year, there was a really awesome guy who, that was his whole job. And he had this giant solar panel on his van. It took up the whole roof of the thing. It was one panel. It lifted up and he targeted the sun. It was very fascinating. But he knows all about the solar power. And so I'm sure you can ask questions and things like that. 2 p.m., that's the start of the solar demo. So that's probably the same guy. And that's all more solar stuff that you're going to want to know. 4 p.m., survival safety seminar. This could be pretty neat. I was in the Boy Scouts growing up, and I like the camping stuff. I like the pocket knives and the tying the knots and things like that. So that could be interesting. I like the survival type of stuff. If you like those like TV shows, this could be interesting. Also, one of my favorite books is what was it called? It's Worst Case Scenario: How to Survive Anything. It's a awesome, fun little pamphlet thing. It's probably the size of a book. It's like 100-something pages. It talks to you about how to like climb on top of a train or jump from a burning building and rolling into a dumpster and things like that. Or jumping out of a car or punching a shark, I think it was. It's a fun book. So that's Sunday coming up. They got the 10 a.m. Boondocking seminar. That could be pretty interesting. That talks about, if you're not familiar with the term boondocking, that's basically like camping off the grid. No water, no electricity, no really society around you. So that's pretty neat. It'll probably tell you where to go and how to find different places to do. BLM land is great. I mean, the RTR is basically one big boondocking. 2 p.m., we've got stealth parking seminar. That's what I do. I stealth park all the time, and it's absolutely fantastic. You can't tell that I'm not a work fan from the outside. I mean, I just park in parking lots where they say even no overnight parking, but I do anyway. Shh, don't tell nobody. But that's what you can do when you know all the tips and tricks to do that. I'll probably do a video on that. And so maybe I'll go there and take some notes. Probably go over tips of like what side of the street to park on and like best case scenario, things to look out for. 4 p.m. that day, they've got a prospecting class. So if you like gold prospecting, there is some of that in Arizona in Quartzsite. And you got all the rock hunting and things like that. I'm not big into that. But if you are, there you go. That's extra fun stuff to do. So the Monday the 14th, 10 a.m., there's the gadgets and cooking methods show and tell. This is like a show and tell where you can bring any cool gadgets. Like if you have a lantern that like doubles as like a shovel or something, I don't know. You can bring it in and be like, hey, this is my cool gadget. This is a show and tell. This is a rifle that shoots rabbits or something. I don't know. I meant like shoot rabbits out of the cannon, not like shoot rabbits, because any rifle can shoot rabbits. Yeah, okay, whatever. Also, the cooking methods. Last year, there was somebody that brought this cool solar oven thing. It was pretty neat. It was like kind of a big thing, but I won't use it a lot, but I'm sure some of you guys will. 2 p.m. actually continues on with that. I didn't read it. It's a solar cooking class to show you how to cook things with the sun. That was pretty neat. He had the gadget, like it looked like a big funnel that like funneled the sunlight into his cooking thing. If I solar cook, I just throw the frozen burrito on the dashboard and let the sun cook that up. 4 p.m. on that Monday is the meet and greet for Bob Wales. That's what you're all there for. That's what it's all about, man. It's meeting Bob. He's such a famous guy that it's through alphabetical. So if your last name starts with A through M, today's the day to do that. The 15th, it's Tuesday, it's the insurance seminar. So do you want to know how the best way to get insurance on your rig, where to do it, like what state, things like that? This is the class for you. Check that out. 2 p.m. that day, roadway safety and courtesy, sharing the road with big rigs. I didn't go to this one last year, but that could be kind of neat. So my mom used to spend a lot of time on the road going to work. She had like an hour-and-a-half commute, and she would go at odd hours. So the truckers were always there. And she talks about how she'd learn how to like do the Morse code with the lights, where you flip the lights on, it's like beep beep and things like that. So that could be kind of neat to do that. But it's also like knowing that a semi truck takes like a mile to stop makes you really cautious about cutting them off. That's your safety. You're not being rude to the well, I mean, you are being rude to the driver of the truck, but it's not his life that you're putting in danger. They'll smash you. They'll kill you. No problem. 4 p.m. is the meet and greet with Bob's. If your name starts with an N through a Z, that should be all of them, actually, because Z's the end. Wednesday the 16th at 10 a.m. is the tin can seminar. I don't know what that is, but I have to skip it. It's the tin can. It's where they all make tin cans and you talk through them with the string. So it's like CB radio, but you talk with the other van. I don't know what it is. 2 p.m. that day is traveling disabled. Maybe you have insulin requirements, or maybe you're in a wheelchair or something like that. There's a lot of people that travel and they have extra circumstances that they have to deal with. So if that's you, maybe you can help find some people that are in a similar case. You can help people out that maybe they're just getting into the lifestyle and you yeah, I know how to travel with the wheelchair now. Like, it's way easier. But for when I first started, it was awful. So this is a good support group if you have any special needs. 4 p.m. This is the small car and vehicle show and tell. So if you don't live in a van, you live in like a small Jeep Wrangler or like a tiny little Prius or something. And there are people that do that. Yeah, that's hardcore. In fact, I think Dave 2D lived in his Jeep for a little while. And it was just like a sleeping bed and a tiny little desk, couldn't sit up. Yeah, it's hardcore, but people do. That should be a neat thing to go to. And then if you ever think that your van is too small, you just see what these guys are doing and you're like, wow, you'd be appreciated of all the extra space you have. 7 p.m. that day, the talent show. I don't have any talents, so I won't be performing. But last year there were musicians and comedians and anything that you don't normally do in a talent show, you can do that. I can start doing the Fortnite dances. I can do the floss. How about that? You want to see me do the floss? Leave a comment. That Thursday, 10 a.m., nonprofit plans. So this is new. Bob set up a couple of nonprofits and he's got some companies that are there this year. That's going to be that. I don't know what that is. 2 p.m. that day is nonprofit and gather feedback and signups. So he wants you to sign up for his nonprofit and do all those things. That 17th, that Thursday, is open house all day. So if you want people to come to your RV or van as an open house, I think you're going to move that to a specific location, or you get a sign or something that goes in your van. Or 4 p.m. that day is the first aid for Nomads. So I've got my first aid kit in the back and it's got some band-aids and it's all got that type of stuff. So if you want to see what basic first aid kit should be, it's pretty good. Friday the 18th, it's 10 a.m. solar with Nas. Naws. Maybe that's the solar dude. Maybe that's the company. I don't remember, but if you're into solar, why don't you go to that? That sounds like a pretty good thing. Why don't you go to that after you watch these videos? The link is in the playlist. 2 p.m. that day is women's meeting. And this is in the main camp area. The 4 p.m. that day is going to be the working on the road panel. So that's always a fun one. It talks about how people can do their carpentry on the road. I know Banana Van, the one dude there, makes cutting boards and other wooden things. It's really nice. Those are cool. Bring your tools with you. I know one dude who's a mechanic and he goes around to different shops and works there and lives out of his van. It's cool stuff. That's a pretty interesting panel just to see what other people are doing. Saturday. This is go to the big tent. So what the big tent is Quartzsite, Arizona hosts this thing every year. And I think it's like a week or so. Maybe it's just that day. I don't really know. But it's the big tent. It's like a giant outdoor flea market, and it's named for the big tent because there is a giant tent. I didn't get any good footage of it yesterday, but it is super packed, and I couldn't find a parking space, so I didn't go to it last time. And it was like a 2-mile walk or something. And I'm like, I'm not going to walk that in the desert. I don't want to do all that. I'm just going to stay here and hang out at the campsite. So that's what I'll probably be doing again. Maybe I'll go to the big tent this year. Anyway, it's got shops, vendors, national parks puts out jobs, things there. So you can always find something to do. You can find work if you want to do that. Buy knickknacks. It's great. 7 p.m. on that Saturday is building the van campfire. This is, what did he call it? Burning van last year. Yeah, okay. So I have a whole video on that burning van. Made a giant cardboard effigy of the van and then lit it on fire. And it was great. Everybody stood way too close to the fire. It blew up and it was great. Nobody got hurt, but it was great. I wish they just burned the whole van at once instead of tearing it apart and then putting it down. That was kind of a letdown, but I understand why I have to do that for safety things. Maybe this year I would love to get like a Wicker Man type style thing, but it's a full-size van and they just light it on fire. Maybe it's made out of wood. It's got wood beams in it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's do that. Let's do that next year. The 20th. This is RTR ends. Very sad day for all of us. We all have to, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So 10 a.m. to noon is camp cleanup. You should clean up definitely wherever you are, but you're more than welcome and encouraged to help clean up anybody else who needs it. We had a lot of volunteers last time just helping pick up extra things. I know I picked up a ton of stuff to throw out. It's just a good idea. This is how we can get invited back next year to the area, is if we're nice about everything and we don't pollute. I mean, you don't want to pollute all the land. I think in general, most RTR people that are going are well-intentioned, well-minded, and they're not going to be littering all over the place. But it just takes a couple bad apples to ruin it for the whole bunch. So make sure you pick up your campground and any other trash you see. That's the only way this can continue going on. Yeah. So after that, we'll all see you next year. So hopefully you made some friends. Hopefully you had some good times. I know I did, or I will. This is the best time when you go home or when you have a better Wi-Fi signal to go back through and watch all my videos about the RTR. It's going to be great. Anyway, guys, I hope you have, and I hope you will have, a great time at the RTR. If you have anything specific that you want to see at it, be sure to leave a comment. I'm putting this video out before the RTR. I'll be getting there early January, and I'll post a video and information when I figure out where my camp is. Be sure to say hi to me over at Camp Hobotech. That's where I'll be. I'll be sure to post a video when I get there, if we move or anything like that. So keep an eye out. So I'll see you next time, Nomads. What do you think? You like the hair like this? You like it poofy? It's kind of a pompadour. I like this reflector behind me because then you can kind of see the hair a little bit better and it gives a more bright background. It doesn't have my head blend into the wall. I've gotten some compliments about my hair recently. I think that's pretty cool. I'm just trying to be pretty, trying to be youthful, get my youthful glow. I think next we're going to read the, what's it called? Schedule. I'm going to go through the schedule. Then I have a video that I'm going to overlay on that. Maybe I'll put it right here. Look how great this is. This is like a, a perfect little window thing for me to advertise products or the next videos. I do like talking in the wheel's kind of in the way. How much is that? Yeah, you can see the wheel a little bit too much. And if I talk, like, it cuts off my head. If I lean too forward, it does. But it's a good little setup. I like talking in the driver's seat. That's kind of neat. Normally, the camera is right off here to the side. You can't really see it because I don't want to move it, but I got it on a tripod now, right on, like, attached to the windshield. So I think that's a pretty good angle. Tell me what you think. You like this, or you like that, like the ones where I'm sitting at the desk back there? The only thing I don't like the ones about the desk back there is that it's so orange and the lighting is weird. It always looks like I have a super red face, and I mean, yeah, okay, maybe I do, but it's just extra because I'm pretty pale. So let me know what you think.